Hey man, say man. Matter of fact, YeaManeTV.
Hey man, say man, this about to be a very special episode of YeaManeTV. Hey, tell them who we got on the joint.
AD like Sunny.
Yeah, man. Hey, what side of the city you grow up from?
North Memphis, man.
North Memphis.
Yeah, Raleigh.
Yeah. Hey, what was it like growing up in Raleigh for you?
Uh, I would say most of the time it was a good time.
Yeah.
Like growing up as a kid, the children nowadays don't actually go outside anymore. They just be on social media or playing games, whatever they're doing. Back in the day, we went outside and we was outside for like 5-6 hours, having
Yeah.
a good time, making mud pies. Kids today don't even know what a mud pie is. So for the main part, it was good. Of course, you got violence all over the world,
Yeah.
but life is kind of actually what you make it.
Yeah, for sure that, bro. For sure that. Hey, when did music become a thing for you?
We was probably rapping when we was like 10, 11, 12, maybe a little bit younger, just freestyling around with homies. I remember one time I was in ISS, made a little rap or whatever. But for the most part, music been around really my whole life.
Yeah, for sure that, for sure that. Hey, you just dropped a EP called The Tennessee 3.
Yep.
Hey, what inspired that?
So the Tennessee 3 is actually in more current and recent events where Justin Jones and Justin Pearson were expelled from the House
Yeah.
in Tennessee, the Tennessee state capital, for speaking up against gun violence.
Yeah.
And Gloria Johnson was not, who was a white lady, who was also up there when they took over the well to speak for the people of which are their constituents.
Yeah, for sure that, bro, for sure that. Hey, and on your EP, those are the names of the tracks of
Yeah.
your song?
So song 1 is called Justin J
Yeah.
for Justin Jones. Song 2 is called Justin P for Justin J Pearson.
Yeah.
Song 3 is called Gloria J for Gloria Johnson.
Yeah, for sure that, for sure that. Hey, what made you do it like that?
So I was living in Nashville for some years.
Yeah.
Just moved back to the city, hometown, Memphis. But I know Justin Jones.
Yeah.
And we've been out in the streets protesting for years. And even before I knew him, he was out there in the streets fighting for the people who are oppressed. And so what inspired it is really the Covenant shooting
Yeah.
that recently just happened. There have been a lot of mass shootings in America. I believe we're like #1 for that, even though we're supposedly the richest and strongest country in the world.
Yeah.
It seems as if this country is in disarray.
Yeah, for sure that, for sure that. Hey, and hey, what would you describe the type of music you make though, bro?
The type of music I make
Yeah.
is a genre that I guess I'm creating. Like back in the day, interview that T.I. did, he didn't know that he was creating trap music. He didn't know he was creating a whole genre. Well, I'm a younger generation and I'm aware of the genre that I'm creating. It's
Yeah.
called social justice music.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure that, for sure that. Hey, and what got you on it though, bro? Like what,
So living in North Memphis, which is what people would perceive to be as the hood, Raleigh area over there, down the street from Raleigh, Springs Mall, James Road area.
Yeah.
The reason why I probably make music and do a lot of what I do is because I went to a private school in middle school.
Yeah.
The school was called Briarcrest Christian School. Same school that The Blind Side was based off of with Michael Orr.
Yeah, Michael Orr, yeah.
Yeah, I went to school with the Tuohys.
Yeah, for sure.
And so just being able to go to school and hear some of the stuff that these white kids would say about black people or whatever, realizing that they're regurgitating whatever their parents were saying because we were only in like 3rd or 4th grade.
Yeah.
Going back to the hood and not telling the people in the hood what the white people were saying at the school because they'd find a way up there and do whatever they do. And then vice versa, what we talk about in our communities, not taking that back up to the private schools. So in turn, I became a person who was able to bridge gaps.
Yeah.
So I was able to speak to all types of people at a young age, being able to communicate what someone may feel to a person on the other side of the aisle without them being offended, but actually understanding what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure that, bro. Hey, and bro, by you being so young and social media and the internet, like you different, bro. Like you ain't scared to, you hear me, be yourself. Like you gon', you know, what most people might call, I don't know, like, I don't know, I can't think of the word, but like you different from most artists. Like you ain't rapping about killing, you ain't rapping about drug dealing, you ain't rapping about none of that. Like what inspires that though, bro?
Well, because there are actually a lot of things that contribute to why it perceives to be as if our communities, being black and brown, tend to fall into more violence. And
Yeah.
a lot of those things do actually deal with music. It's called the power of the subconscious mind.
Yeah.
So the reason why a lot of these communities are in such a deficit, which includes our communities, also Hispanic communities, basically everybody who's not white.
Yeah.
Is because these labels and these people who promote music, they promote money, sex, and drugs.
Yeah.
And then they put it on radio programming. Programming is programming. So it's getting something into your mind to where that's just how you see it. And once it falls into the subconscious mind, the child who has in their subconscious mind money, sex, and drugs are going to money, sex, and drug through life. And it also deals with killing and violence. It gets into the subconscious mind of the youth, and that's how they get people into prison actually, which is how private prisons make millions and billions of dollars, because as long as they keep the private prisons 95% full, they're getting paid. And they throttle it into music so that they can continue to have children and the youth go into their prisons so that they can make a dollar bill.
Yeah, for sure that, bro. That's deep right there. That was hard. Do you think the city appreciate the type of music you make?
Yeah, I think that it's a newer sound for my city of Memphis. It's a way newer sound. It's probably the only sound outside of the other stuff that people talk about in Memphis that is becoming something that the children will begin to speak about.
Yeah.
So we have music out already, and we have the greats here in Memphis. We got some of the best artists in the world that are born from Memphis. I think that in the times that we are in now, where the internet and everything is so much more accessible, children will actually have the mindset to speak about what is right and how to change, protest, go to rallies, learn how to organize. And I feel like I am one of the pioneers who is starting that. And I feel like the future generations, like right now we have so many artists that are from Memphis, hundreds that are huge. I think that it's gonna be like a baby boom. Once the children really hear the sound that I'm putting out of this city, it'll be not just 2 big artists that blow next year, but 100. And it'll all be speaking about change and positivity and how we need to fight forward to liberate ourselves from the oppression.
Yeah, for sure that, bro. For sure that. Hey, you was arrested in 2018.
18. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that, bro?
That was a good time.
Yeah.
So back in 2018, I was still in college. I was at a graduation party, and cops got called. Graduation party venue and all that, and I mean it's a graduation party, so we right down the street from the university. So cops come, an altercation that happened between a girl and a dude or something like that, and nothing had happened. Cops came, and the cops were being extremely aggressive and obsessive on talking to the people and stuff. So I pulled out my camera to start recording them. Well, in Red Bank actually has a record of showing how police like to tell people that they can't record things, even though that's a violation of the citizen's First Amendment right. And so I was out there recording, and you can look up all this stuff, but basically what happened was the cops ended up grabbing me because I was recording what they were doing to other students and arresting me and taking my phone for 24 days trying to hack inside of it. And they couldn't get inside of it.
Yeah, for sure. And what was the end result with that whole little situation? When you...
So they had charged me with 4 charges, and I beat the whole thing without a lawyer. I didn't say Your Honor not once in the courthouse. I didn't do it the way other people do. Every time I was going to court, I was telling that judge exactly what happened, why it happened, and we were sending the pressure. I had the chancellor ready to back me because I was a student at the University of Tennessee at Chattanooga. I was doing radio interviews with David Toulis on his channel that spread all the way down to Florida from Tennessee.
Yeah.
Also, I was going to get those officers fired.
Yeah.
It was so much pressure on them that while we were going through the process of whatever they were trying to do, one of the officers actually resigned and became an officer in a different county.
Yeah.
And I believe it was Sevier. So basically what it was is we were fighting for people that that oftentimes get mistreated because there aren't any cameras or anything like that. We're not living in 1994, 1993, 1995 no more. We have cameras now. It's not the Rodney King situation where you can just do whatever you want and people won't know. You will be held accountable, as seen by like things of like George Floyd and Breonna Taylor.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of that, not too long ago, bro, we had a case where the police had beat up
Tyre Nichols.
Tyre Nichols.
Yeah.
Could you tell us your take on that whole situation?
Yeah, I feel like, especially with Memphis police, they do have a different type of look as a police officer. They look more in the aspect of a military.
Yeah.
Because the way that they, it's not even just that. Even when we were a little bit younger, I'm 28 right now. When we were a little bit younger, there's videos of MPD like tackling high school students while we had like a jamboree or something. You know what I mean? Like that all happened. I remember one time specifically at Cordova.
Police will throw a smoke bomb right in the middle of the crowd.
We kids, bro.
Yeah,
so
for
you
sure.
doing stuff like that to us while we're children gives us an imprint on the police already. Because I really don't even call them police. I call them pigs.
Yeah.
And I got an EP called Pigs.
Yeah.
And it's me eating a pig on the plate. And the pig got an apple in his mouth, and I got a fork in one hand and bacon in my other hand.
Damn.
And the way that they have done things over the past and how they continue to do things and how people always often or sometimes equate the police to being the biggest gang in America, well, it's true. And Scorpion Unit is just a subunit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, for sure that, bro. For sure that. Hey, getting back into the music, bro. In 2020, bro, you had dropped a song every month, an EP every month?
That was 2021.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2021, I was going off this little thing, cause an artist that I just really respect and am inspired by in the manners of consistency and progression. It's not one of my favorite artists at all. It's not at all. But when it comes to the work ethic, it's Russ.
Yeah.
And Russ was dropping music every week. And so I developed this thing in my mind that I wanted to drop music every month. So January, I dropped like a 13-song album called War on the 1%.
Yeah.
February, I dropped a single called Never Gonna Simplify, which is about the 9-year-old girl that the police basically mishandled up in New York and Rochester.
Yeah.
And then March, I believe it was.
It's hard.
It was a lot, yeah. So March was another EP, 3-song EP. I think that was More Bars. And then April, and then May.
Yeah.
And then in June, I actually got in contact with Fat Joe. I guess word and stuff had just got out with my music and stuff. So, and then I skipped that month, and then in July, I dropped a song called Rock, and it had Fat Joe hosting it. And so I just saw that consistency would get you somewhere.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Hey, how would you describe, I know you from Memphis, but you was in Nashville for a little while. How would you describe Memphis sound versus Nashville sound?
So Memphis sound is legendary.
Yeah.
You really can't even compete with Memphis. Nashville is more like there are people there that it'll be hip hop and stuff, and but a lot of the artists that live in Nashville aren't from Nashville. I mean, there are a few dope ones.
Yeah.
It's definitely a few dope ones, but it's more like that's an international city, so it's just a hub for all different types of people.
Different type of shit.
Memphis music is ain't nobody keeping up with Memphis music, regardless.
Yeah, for sure that, bro, for sure that. Hey, is there anything that we need to be looking out for musically coming out for you, or anything?
The Tennessee 3 is out right now.
Yeah.
And then I do plan on dropping some music with some dope people in the very near future. But the Tennessee 3 is what the world needs to more so focus on. And when I say the world needs to focus on, I mean focusing on what happened at the Tennessee State Capitol when they expelled people for speaking out against gun violence.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that's a big problem in this country, and people continue to overlook the main cause, the real cancer, which is certain things that need to be passed in legislation for people to be prevented from buying guns if they aren't suitable when it comes to being mental or physically fit to have a weapon. And that's something that is going to be a continued dialogue. It's going to be a continued plans of action and organizing to prevent that in the future, including things like red flag laws. There are a lot of people that don't fully understand what certain things like red flag laws are, but things like that are just steps into where we're heading to in the future. It should be common sense to have a background check, or it should be common sense that you should be possibly at least maybe 21 where your brain is kind of developed a little bit more rather than 18 to be able to buy a weapon.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's kind of what the Tennessee 3, my EP, is about, but it's really more focused on the cancer that is gun violence and that we need to find, even though we know the cure, just like with HIV and a lot of other these things, that we know the cure for these things, but we keep giving people aspirin because there's a certain agenda that people have, and that agenda is whatever it may be. A lot of the Republicans are funded by the NRA, which is the Rifle Association. And so they fund their campaigns. So a lot of those Republican representatives their constituents don't even agree with what they're voting for, but they just vote for it because they're being more funded by the NRA than maybe the 50, 60, 70, or 100,000 constituents that voted them into the House in the first place. Yeah. So it's almost like it's just those people in there, and they don't even care about the actual people who voted them in.
Yeah, for sure that, bro, for sure that. Hey, you going down the road, let's travel, bro, and
got a song called Higher Road.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, were there in the hurdles along the way, bro, that made you want to stray away from what you're doing?
No, not one at all. It has been, it is tough sometimes, very dangerous sometimes in certain positions that you might be in when it comes to protesting or being out there in the public. You know, I remember exactly one time when we were protesting and marching because Walter Wallace Jr., when he was murdered and killed, we were downtown and we were marching. And usually when you're marching, the police will be right behind you regardless. And right behind the police cars was a line of trucks that had like MAGA on it, as if like the cops were the only thing dividing them from us. And so you have people that go out there and try to intimidate you, but it's a lot of people out here fighting for the movement that aren't scared of that. Yeah, and we will never be scared of that. If anything, it's just gonna give us fuel and make us stronger.
Yeah, for sure, that, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, hey, outside of music though, bro, and the social justice work, is there anything that you do like on the outside, bro?
I've gotten pretty good at rollerblading.
Rollerblade?
Yeah, I can do a little something with the rollerblades.
Man, where the hell did come from,
man,
bro?
I don't even know, man.
See, look, you.
When I was a kid, you know, we went to Cordova Skate Rink or Raleigh Skate. But that was the 4 wheels. But I don't know, probably about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I've just always been an agile and athletic person. So picked up some rollerblades, got connected with a skate community in Nashville.
Yeah.
And then I ended up just doing real good with it. So I do that kind of as a hobby. I've been to protests with my rollerblades on. I've rollerbladed to the studio and recorded in the studio with my rollerblades on. Yeah. So some unique stuff.
Hey, and speaking of protesting, bro, you had carried the casket of one.
Yeah. So recently, my birthday week, which would have been, my birthday was April 17th. I went down to Nashville a few days prior, and so I really went down to Nashville to protest about gun reform and how we need to change a lot of the things that are going on in legislation, including like breaking up these alliances that some of these Republicans have to keep power and money. So on my birthday, actually, there was something called Moral Monday where we met at McKendree Church downtown Nashville, and we actually marched from that church down to the Tennessee State Capitol, and we were carrying the caskets of the 6 who were murdered and slaughtered at Covenant due to them not having correct legislation on gun laws and on who can and who can't get them. So we walked about like 3 or 4 blocks, and the casket was heavy. And then they spoke up there. Reverend Barber spoke, and 22 others. And then people proceeded to go inside of the Tennessee State Capitol for the sessions.
Yeah, for sure that, bro, for sure that. Hey, what is the one message you got for the folks that do believe in you, though, bro?
Stay strong, people. We will overcome. There's nothing that we can't overcome. We are people that have been oppressed in the past and have always overcome. So like the movie Hunger Games or like Divergent, dystopian worlds overcoming the government. We shall overcome. Martin Luther King, we shall overcome. My frat brother, by the way.
Frat brother, Martin Luther King. What?
Alpha Phi Alpha.
Yeah, man.
Yes, sir. And I've been around his son a couple of times, Martin Luther King III, who's given me a lot of knowledge on how to move forward as being a younger person, because now I'm getting a little bit older. If I'm heading towards 30, there are children that are younger than me that I need to teach. And so I'm heading into more of mentorship with those children.
Yeah, for sure that, bro. Hey, D, I appreciate you, bro, for giving me a different episode of YeaManeTV. Man, keep on pushing, keep on doing your thing. I hope you, man, go up on them folks. Hey, appreciate you, man. It been YeaManeTV, dog, and we gone. Yeah, man.
Hey, man, say, man. Matter of fact, YeaManeTV.